Since 1970, thousands of live events have graced the stage at McCain Auditorium, providing K-State students and the Manhattan community a place of cultural enrichment and engagement. Before McCain opened its doors, K-State used other facilities for campus activities. Visiting performers and lecturers would present on stages at Bluemont Central College, a college barn built in 1872, Anderson Hall, All Faiths Chapel, and an auditorium constructed in 1904. By the late 1950s, the old auditorium proved to be inadequate. In 1963, K-State President James McCain asked for funds to build a new auditorium.
No building is more essential to the broad educational purpose of a center of higher learning than this facility, and none has stronger support from our faculty, students, and alumni.
K-State was given $16,000 for the cost of preliminary plans for a new auditorium. And with that, the seeds were planted for the future McCain Auditorium. On the morning of January 15, 1965, a security guard discovered a fire in the old auditorium. The building disintegrated into flames in minutes. The fire destroyed an organ, along with band instruments and musical scores. 2 arsonists were later arrested and convicted for setting the fire. During the 1965-66 legislative sessions, President McCain requested more than $2.8 million for a new auditorium. University officials wanted to use the building for every type of performance, including solo instruments, symphonies, opera, dance, theater, national touring Broadway shows, and student performances. Crews broke ground in October of 1967, and on October 7, 1970, the Broadway play George M. became the first show to take the stage of the new KSU Auditorium. On November 11th of that same year, the Minnesota Orchestra premiered Gail Kubik's A Record of Our Time, and President McCain dedicated the structure to the enrichment of the human mind and spirit, describing it as a center for intellectual gratification. The building was renamed McCain Auditorium upon the retirement of President McCain in 1975.
With reference to this auditorium, I would remind you of its contribution to an added and a very substantial added dimension of intellectual and aesthetic and cultural enrichment to our campus, to the Manhattan community, and for that matter to the entire state of Kansas. I believe so strongly in the kinds of activities that are facilitated by this auditorium. For all of those reasons, I sincerely can say that I could think of no honor that I would cherish more than to have this named for me and for my wife, Janet. Thank you all very much.
Since that time, McCain Auditorium has hosted the world's top artists, including Van Cliburn, Yo-Yo Ma, Itzhak Perlman, Mummenschanz, Bernadette Peters, Pat Metheny, Chick Corea, Carol Burnett, Trevor Noah, Bella Fleck, Steve Martin, Emmylou Harris, Wynton Marsalis, and countless others. McCain Auditorium is an architectural marvel. It is one of only a handful of theaters in the United States that boasts a movable ceiling that, when moved, transforms the space into a smaller, intimate theater. McCain Auditorium has not seen major renovations since it was built, but all of that changed in August of 2020 when construction began on a major lobby expansion.
Plans for the 2-story lobby renovation include an outdoor plaza area for students and patrons to relax and engage. Access to the interior will be through grand entrances on the north and south sides. The indoor space will be expanded for increased circulation and special events for the K-State and Flint Hills communities, and will include more bathrooms and dedicated areas for coat check, concessions, merchandise, and a larger, more efficient box office area. Highlighting the grand lobby area will be an atrium exposing an original limestone wall, which will serve as a bridge to the two main areas on the second level. The second level will house an administrative suite and a large multi-purpose room for engagement opportunities for students with artists that come to McCain. It will also serve as an event space for intimate concerts, meetings, social gatherings, and other activities for our donors, general patrons, and the campus-wide community. Thank you to all the donors who have supported this project. Because of you, students and the local community have opportunities to experience McCain's creative programming and educational outreach programs in a new, more welcoming space. Thank you to all the McCain Auditorium Board of Directors, present and past, for your tireless efforts to make this expansion a reality, ensuring that McCain Auditorium remains an enduring place of creativity, inspiration, and inclusion. Thank you to all the friends of McCain, past and present, who have given their time and treasure to support McCain and the performing arts at K-State. Thank you to the architectural firm BNIM for beautiful designs, and to McCown Gordon Construction for bringing the designs to reality. Thank you to the KSU Foundation for helping to coordinate and raise funds for this expansion. And thank you to KSU Facilities and Emmy Chamberlain in managing this architectural project for the university. Finally, thank you to Kansas State University and the surrounding communities for 50 years of McCain Auditorium.